I mean fit as in, you know, healthy and stuff. Running. Fit. I mean fit as in, you know, healthy and stuff. Running. So, what's going on YouTube? Today I have a couple of things to talk about. Firstly, I'm gonna have a little chat about myself, I guess, a little bit. So yeah, when I say I want to talk about myself, I just want to talk about something that I'm a little bit of a geek about, and that is space and shit. And obviously the absolutely incredible fact that for like 15 years we have had a permanent base in space that's constantly been populated by humans the whole time, and that blows my mind. You can see the International Space Station going overhead at night, the right time, you're looking in the right place. And recently we had our first ever British astronaut launch to the space station on a Soyuz rocket, and yesterday he performed his first spacewalk. And again, I just think that's absolutely incredible that we're able to not only go into space and live inside a spacecraft that whizzes around and supports human life, but that we can actually put on a spacesuit, jump outside and go and fix things. Watch some of the spacewalk myself, and you know, they got all their main tasks done and mucked around with a few other things, and then I think it was around 2 hours before they were due to finish completing the tasks they had, or like all of the tasks they had set out, not just the main task. The other astronaut, who was not the British astronaut, actually had a problem with his spacesuit, and he had some liquid leaking into his helmet, which obviously, you know, you can't just flip open your helmet visor and let the water out, because you'll die. And so, you know, they obviously, it's a minor emergency while it's only a smallish amount of water. And what happened was they obviously decided they were going to bring the astronauts back in early, and the lead astronaut on the spacewalk was the astronaut that had the problem. And so what they had to do was kind of switch roles for the final procedures of re-entering the hatch and getting back into the space station and locking it all up. Now obviously both the astronauts are trained to do that, but the other one had more experience. He'd been on a few spacewalks already, and so initially it was his job. And then, you know, you come to this situation that you're not really expecting on your first spacewalk, which is the roles have been reversed, and you're now responsible for re-securing the space station and making sure when they repressurize the airlock, everyone doesn't get sucked out into space. Yeah, I think it's just interesting, you know, that is going to stick with him for the rest of his life. His first ever spacewalk, as if that's not incredible enough. but then to have to deal with something out of the ordinary and you know, do something that you weren't even expecting to do, and you weren't I mean, you were prepared for it, but you weren't expecting it. And it made me think, and obviously this is in absolutely no way comparable really, but it just did remind me of when I was younger and I was actually learning to fly. I didn't complete my license because I ran out of like money and stuff, which sucks. But I did manage to get my first solo done, and it reminded me of that. What happens is, once your instructor is confident that you are able to do, you know, the taking off and landing by yourself, there comes to an end of a lesson where you've been doing circuits, and he taxi back to the flying club. He says, right, you're off for your first solo now. I'm going to jump out here, and off you go. You know, one more takeoff and landing, and see you in a little while. So it was kind of exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time, and I guess I should have known, because my dad had kind of come along to drop me off to the lesson and then stuck around to watch, so that was different to usual. So I probably should have known, really, probably should have worked it out. So anyway, I turned on my downwind leg, which is basically parallel to the runway in the opposite direction to the direction that you're taking off and landing. And what usually happens is you call back to the tower, tell them that you're downwind, and then they'll give you some instructions. They'll tell you how many planes are in front of you for the landing, and if you need to kind of delay your downwind leg by doing any circuits. So basically I was told that I was second in behind an aeroplane, quite a fast aeroplane that was coming straight in from the other direction, and so I was basically asked to stay on the downwind leg and not turn base leg until I was instructed to by the tower. So I'm extending my downwind leg, and I fly past where I would normally make my turn for base leg, and I don't hear anything, and I'm going, and I'm probably about twice as far away now as I normally would be for my turn. I'm thinking, right, am I gonna call the tower and remind them that I'm here? Have they forgotten about me? Because I told them that I was on my first solo, so I'd expected them to be a bit more aware that they should keep in contact. And literally just probably seconds before I was going to call them back up and remind them that I was still downwind, they called me up and said that I was safe to turn on base leg, and that and bear in mind that I'd actually seen the plane go past in the other direction, so I knew that it was past me and kind of out of my way. So yeah, anyway, they called me up and told me I was safe. I was second in behind that plane still. And yeah, so that, I wasn't prepared for that, really. I had never been asked to extend my downwind leg, and so it was one of those things where you've never done it, and it's this British astronaut who's never been on a spacewalk before, and all of a sudden he's being asked to do something that he's never done before. I mean, he's practiced it, but he's he's out now in space instead of a swimming pool. So yeah, it just reminded me of that kind of situation where you've got to stay calm in those situations, because you can panic and stop thinking about what keeps you safe. You're not really in danger. You've got to deal with something. You've got to make sure that you're doing everything correctly to stay safe with some other circumstances which make it a little bit different to usual. And you know, if you're not sensible, you can make a hash of it, and you can end up bad probably quite quickly. So yeah, that was nice, because I hadn't really thought about my flying for quite a few years, and it just reminded me of that, and it was, you know, good times, good memories. So yeah, the second thing that I was gonna have a little chat about is my friend's new car. He popped around this morning, made me really jealous. Basically, I knew he was getting it. He basically had a brand new Mustang on order, one of the first ones into the country, and he's ordered the V8. And he'd ordered a new exhaust for it as well, like a Ford Performance sports exhaust, which you know, obviously makes it sound incredible. And he told me that he was getting it probably in March, because he wasn't expecting it to arrive. And last week he found out that it was way ahead of where they'd scheduled it, and it was actually in the country already. He didn't tell me. And this morning, Saturday morning, he just turns up at my house at 9 AM, maybe 9:15, rings the doorbell. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not expecting anything. I asked my girlfriend if she's expecting anything, and so I'll fucking hell, put some trousers on, go downstairs, and he's at my door. Just with a massive grin on his face, with a Mustang sat behind him. So yeah, really jealous. He's got a 5 litre V8, and you know, 4 Vs are better than 1 V, or are they? I don't know. Maybe not. I know 2 wheels are better than 4 wheels. That's for sure. But I'll tell you what, that car sounds amazing. I definitely need to get an exhaust for this. I'm obviously already planning on getting it, but I need to expedite proceedings. So yeah, we've decided that once I get my exhaust, we're finding the nearest tunnel we can to have like an exhaust off, a rev off, which I'm obviously looking forward to. You fucking idiots.